Welcome everyone. Today is Wednesday, 23rd of October, 2024. I'm Fabrizio Pandini, and this is the Cluster API Office Hour meeting. Just a quick reminder of the rule of the game. So we abide to CNCF code and conduct. Please be kind with each other. And if you want to speak, feel free to use the raise hand feature in Zoom. I will do my best to moderate. And feel free also to add a topic to the agenda and don't, which is shared, and share the link to the agenda in the meeting. If you don't have access, you have to join the new SIG cluster lifecycle mailing list. And I think we can get started. So with today's agenda. So first of all, we usually give room for new attendees that want to introduce themselves. Feel free to raise your hand and I will give you room to talk. Is there some new attendee that want to introduce themselves? It seems not, so let's keep rolling. Open proposal, we only have one open proposal, which is the in-place update proposal, given that the node drain proposal merged last week. Is there someone that want to give update about the in-place update proposal? I don't know if Guillermo is there. I don't see him, so Christian.
Not directly related to that, but I think... okay, forget it. I thought we did not start recording, but it's recorded. Sorry.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so I think we are now at discussion topic, and I have the first one. So this is a call for action. As part of the work for improving status, I did a work, which I shared also with this group, to improve the documentation of the cluster API contract. This work is today only on main. And to see it, you can just add main on in front of the book address. And I already did the work to improve the infra-cluster, infra-machine, booster config, and control break contract. So what is the difference? The main difference is that we now have everything which is related to contract is all under the same session. And I also did the work to look around in the book, grab all the rules that applies to object, and try to make them all listed in a place, and then document them in a better way than what we did in the past. And another thing that I did is also add adds up a notice when where we plan changes for the contract in the near future. Now we need to do the same for the machine pool contract. Today, the machine pool contract is in a wrong place because it is basically under core cluster APIs, not for controllers, and it is also a mix-up of a little bit of the cluster API machine pool controller and a little bit of contract. So we have just to basically, I need the help from someone that moves this contract part to the right location, which is under provided contract, and try to basically make sure that everything is fine, is documented, and possibly aligned to the same shape of the other. I'm not doing this because, as many of you probably know, we in VMware, we are not using machine pools, so I don't feel confident to rewrite basically the machine pool contract. So if there is someone that has experience with machine pools, we need help to do this. And I stop to see if there are questions, comments on this one.
Hey Fabio, so as part of the release team, I start to look to the machine pool flaky test, and I'm looking like to support the machine pool within team here. So maybe yeah, maybe I can help you in that. And
Okay, if you feel confident to do this work, I'm happy. We definitely need review from someone with machine pool knowledge. And on the same line, yeah, Jonathan, give me a second, then I will call you. On the same line, we also need help to implement a new condition for machine pools. There is a proposal, there is a chapter that describes changes that are expected to the machine pool, the new condition that we want to have. So everything is documented. Hopefully it makes sense. But again, if you can have someone with knowledge with machine pool taking over the work and validating everything is the proposal would be great. Jonathan, do we want to say something?
Yeah, I was gonna say if there's any part of this that involves machine pool machines with documentation or conditions, I'm happy to jump in because I have a bit of knowledge about that.
Yeah, the point is the contract should define everything that is expected from any one implemented machine pool. And I guess that machine pool machines fit into this category. I'm not sure that what in the current documentation that we have today, there are even mention of the machine pool machines. So
Yeah.
this is where the expertise of the folks knowing this stuff can really help.
Yeah, so for the machine pool machines in the proposal, I made quite a few UML diagrams. So those are already in the repo. So if we want to move those over into the book, I think we could take advantage of existing information there.
Yeah, probably this is about machine pool machines. Yeah, there is something. So yeah, the point is everything is good, but I don't feel confident and to do this. We need folks maintaining machine pool machines, taking care also of the documentation of machine pool machines. Otherwise, I can do it, but how can I validate that I write something wrong? I'm not using them. I don't have expertise in them. Stefan?
I don't know if it helps, but maybe makes sense to show one of the migrated contracts again. I think what would be a good start if we basically start by migrating what we have for machine pools today and maybe related stuff that is not already in a machine. I think we have like one page for machine. Yeah, maybe just here. But I mean, that's the way we have it for all the existing contracts. And I think what would be already a good step is, first of all, maybe create a machine pool page and add all the stuff that we have for the other contracts that also apply to machine pools. And I think then we can continue and basically move more stuff in there that we already have in existing machine pool documentation and see which part of those are actually part of the contract. So if I would do it, I would try to get some inspiration on the existing contracts and existing machine pool documentation, and then try to figure out how the new contract documentation for machine pools should look like.
Thank you. That's a good suggestion. So, Mohammed, if you want to take over, or Jonathan, if you want to bring in some of your experience, every help is welcome. And yep, if there are no further questions on this topic, we can move to the next one. Oh, Stefan?
Maybe one quick comment. I think the output of this content documentation is like probably the best thing that we have about like how machine pools should work, right? So whatever we're going to change in the future in the machine pool controller, when one of us has to review that stuff because there is no one else, we're probably going to look at this documentation and then merge accordingly. So if there is like behavior that everyone sort of expects or relies on that is not in there, I mean, realistically, it will break at some point, right? Because if it's not specified, it's not any API, any contract, anything. So I think there should be like whoever implements machine pools today, I think it's beneficial for them basically that this behavior in core cluster API gets standardized and gets documented, because if it's not, there's absolutely zero guarantee that it will stay the same. I mean, I'm not doing it in the sense of, hey, we want to break you intentionally, but basically today it's like we have not much to go on in some areas of machine pools, how it's supposed to work or how it should continue to work, because it's really unspecified in a lot of parts.
Yes, and just to make this real, there are issues.
Maybe we should look for the graduation issue or something, and then the other ones
like this one, which is discussing, we should make machine pool optional. This should be defined by the contract. So otherwise, today it is a gray area. Someone use it, someone not. And folks are relying on this, and this is totally wrong. And by the way, in the machine contract now, we are really make it clear that no one should rely on undocumented behavior because they are building on top of X. So I think that Stefan Cole is really good. So we are solving actual problems by doing this documentation right.
Yeah, and also one additional point is basically, if there is no standard on, for example, how to do rollouts of machine pools, right? I mean, should we rotate the bootstrap config, or should we just update in place, or whatever exactly we should do there? We implemented this like one way in cluster class. I think it mostly works, but I'm not really sure. And I think we have some issues like, hey, how do we even do like an atomic upgrade with machine pools where we can basically change the bootstrap config and infra machine like in one go. And I think there are some limitations in there today, and we have open issues for that. Basically, so I think this contract can work in two ways. One, it can standardize how the core machine pool controller actually behaves, and then basically ensure that all the infra machine pool implementations continue to work with the core machine pool controller. But also it can give us like a stable fundament basically on which the cluster class controller can do its job correctly when trying to manage machine pools. And I think in both areas, there's a lot of fussiness today. But just, I mean, I never used the machine pool. I think also except maybe the Docker one. So I can't really tell how good it works today. I just see the issues coming in and sort of bug fixes we did in the past, and it all feels pretty fuzzy for me, at least compared to other parts of our code base, which are usually more well-defined, or they should be.
Thank you. I think we can move to the next one, Christian.
Yep, I want to do this today because I'm out for the next 2 weeks, so I won't be able to do this before KubeCon otherwise. So yeah, KubeCon is soon. We have a session at the Contributor Summit, which we also did in the past, Contributor Summits, I think. So some may be familiar with that thing. Yeah, I also linked the slides from Paris. It's a pretty, yeah, it's a highline. It's a session with a short talk part, but the rest is open for discussion for any topics we want to talk about. I'm happy if folks which are in Salt Lake City will be there, and also happy if folks might want to help. Because yeah, Fabrizio will plan to go there, but sadly can't make it. So I'll be there for sure. And if folks want to help here, especially maybe also on the open discussion we have at the end, or if you have topics you want to bring up and maybe want to talk about, happy for any engagement here. Just let me know, and yeah, I think we get that. And yeah.
Mike.
Well,
Yeah. Oh, sorry, other mic.
You go ahead, Tuj.
No, sorry, I didn't see your hand up. Go ahead.
Okay, well, I was just going to say, like, first of all, I sad to hear that Fabrizio won't be there. But I was wondering, normally Fabrizio hosts or is the main host for our meetup session. Do we have enough people to run that and everything? Are we in good shape there?
So I hope there will be critical mass. I don't know how many folks will be there. I know that Vince will be there. If I got it right, also Joel will be there, but I'm not 100% sure. I think it popped up in some discussion, but yeah, yeah, Joel and you should be there. So, and usually there are folks. So we have a session which I don't remember what time is in the schedule.
It's for 55 minutes, I think. So
yeah, we have an hour, a room where we can go in and chat. The format is pretty is free. Usually we had some good discussion. So I think that is just a good opportunity to get together. And then if there are something else, or if we want to keep it shorter, or having as usual the great all-way discussion is always possible. So Mike is also suggesting to have a happy dinner like we did in Detroit, and I thought I won't be there, but I totally agree that it was a great dinner altogether, a lot of fun and good company. So I'm definitely +1, but I stepped back because I want to be there, so I don't get in the middle of the organization. And yeah, thank you, Christian, for taking over not only this in the contributor summing, but also my talk about Cluster API status upgrade in the main track. So, thank you very much, Christian.
Yeah, thanks too.
Okay, great. So if someone is willing to help or will be there, please reach out to Christian. If someone is going to KubeCon, those are the two meeting points for the CAPI community. One is the Contributor Summit. There will be this slot in the afternoon, and then there is the Cluster API office hour talk. The Cluster API, sorry, deep dive talk in the main track. Stefan and Mike.
I don't know if Mike was first, probably. Mike, go ahead.
I think my hand was just still up. Sorry about that.
Okay. Yeah, I was just saying there's usually also like a third thing that we were usually going to when you were at KubeCon, which is the SIG meet and greet. I assume it also happens this time, which is basically usually on the last day of the conference, which is probably also the Friday, like around lunch or something. There's like 2 or 3 hours, basically a room where people from various SIGs can basically go there, and then new contributors and all sorts of people can just show up. And I mean, either you talk to other contributors or you talk to new people or something like that. So just, I would say general recommendation, if you're there, might be worth going there and just saying hi to people that you only know from GitHub or something.
Yeah, I totally echo this. Just go there. There will be, I think that this year is it happens at lunchtime, if I remember the email passing. But definitely is a great opportunity to go there, see a lot of contributors, chat with them, or just say hi, and it is a really nice place to be. And usually there are also some gadget about SIGs and stuff like that. So okay, Mike Turgeon will be there, Joey will be there. Yeah, looks like that there is a good chance that we will have a critical mass there. Thank you.
Happy to meet up, folks.
Yep, this is always great. We are at the end of our agenda. Do we have some update from providers or from feature group, Mike? How things are going in the Carpenter working group?
It's going fairly well. I've heard from a few users who have tried it out, and they're having different levels of success with getting it to work and everything. One of the things that I'm looking at now, one of the things we're trying to do next is get the Carpenter provider updated so that it's on 1.0 Carpenter and 1.8 Cluster API. So we got a little bit of dependency work to do. And I'm also trying to do some experimentation with like an asynchronous machine create to see if we can improve the performance around that side of things. And I think the next big topic that I want to bring back to this meeting, and maybe this will be for after KubeCon, is a discussion about do we want to get into looking at pricing data associated with infrastructure, and is there something that we could do as a community to maybe come up with an enhancement for how we could expose that kind of information from the infrastructure up through cluster API objects. And the reason I want to get into that is because if we can expose more cost information, not only will it help with tools like Carpenter, but it will also help us with the cluster autoscaler, as we would be able to enable something that's called the least cost expansion method. So I think there's some big topics coming up in terms of how users could potentially save money in the cloud. And I think it'd be a cool topic for us to talk about. So hopefully at some point in the future, I'll bring this discussion back and we can kind of get into it and everything. So that's kind of where we're at the moment and where we're going.
That's great to hear you're making progress and users are starting looking into it. That's the best news so far. So thank you very much for the update. If there are no update from the providers, we are at the end of our agenda and we can have half an hour back. I see some message in the chat. No, just people adding reaction. So I think we are at the end of our agenda. So thank you everyone for attending. See you in 1 week.
Thanks for
Have a good one, everyone.